Alright guys, sorry it took a moment to get everything set back up. Had to move around my office a little bit here, so welcome to the live stream for SyllaFX. Gonna go through some of the currency pairs that I typically monitor and set up the trades for. We'll probably do a couple of entry zones. Primarily I'm trading the euro dollar and the dollar yen, so we'll probably stick to those for this stream and see what we can get set up for the evening for the upcoming London session, Friday the 13th. I think we'll go ahead and also take a look at some of the entry zones that I set up for the previous night. Today was news event and everything, so I didn't actually place any trades. And we'll take a look at the action that actually happened. As you can kind of see, all this volatility that happened today from the news release at 8:30 Eastern time. So we'll go through a little bit of that, and we'll probably, like I said, do a couple of entry zones to set up for the London session to come up, and we'll see what we've got. So give me just a few. I'm just going to set up a few different things here. Like I said, I had to move around the office a bit, and got a couple new monitors on the setup, so let's see what we got going on and see what we can get set up and see if we can make some money. Hope you guys have had a good trading week so far. If you guys made some money this week. There was one trade I placed. Was it last night maybe? We'll take a look at that. It was on the dollar yen. I think I already removed that. No, it was this trade back here. So we'll take a look at this trade here and see what actually happened. This is one of the entry zones that I set up. For, what was this, Tuesday night that this happened? Yeah. So it wasn't yesterday, I placed it on Tuesday evening, and it was going into my direction at first. Got about halfway into the profit region on that one, so I ended up moving everything to break even. And the reason I do that is because of things like this. So price came right back and tapped me out on that one here. So yeah. The entry zone was basically based off of this high here, and I was waiting for price to kind of get back into that area and look for a potential entry zone on the 15-minute chart. So at first, price did make it all the way back into that area here, and we had a little bit of rejection here, so I didn't actually catch it right at that one. So I was a little bit late on the entry for that one, and I was going to actually enter in down here. By the time I actually looked at the chart and actually noticed the pricing and where it was at my entry zone, went ahead and jumped in as it closed that first sell candle here after this bullish move up into the zone, and sold there. Got about halfway in, about 34-35 pips, so I moved to break even and pretty much went to sleep on that one and let it kind of run through. And of course it came back, tapped me out, but break even trade, no loss, no win unfortunately. But that's the only trade that I've actually placed this week so far, so no winner today or the last couple days. So if you guys are joining the stream, if you're new to the stream, definitely don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you want to get notified when I go live or post new content. It's been a week or two since I actually posted a new video. The end of the year has been pretty quiet. I didn't trade towards the end of December. Beginning of the year, I think the first week of January I didn't actually place any trades, but this week was the first week that I actually placed another trade on. So let's see. Still kind of trying to get everything a bit organized here. see. I want to take a look at some of the entry zones that I sent out and see if any of them were actually played out. I think there was like 3 or 4 that I sent out last night. So let's do that first. So for the 12th, first one being for the euro dollar. So let's take a look at this entry zone versus what actually happened today. When I was actually setting up the entry zones, I didn't even check Forex Factory for any news for the next morning, for because there was some news releases on during the New York session today. So let's see what we got. So what I was basically looking for on this one, we were kind of heading towards the 4-hour major zone. Price had already went to that area at one point. If I was paying attention at that time, this could have been a valid sell position at this point here, and it came back down to the lows. Would have been a quick, easy move. It was the first time tapping into that 4-hour zone, so it was a pretty easy, quick rejections. Another rejection here. This would have been a valid sell position here, and wait for it to come down. And pretty much, if once I got into about halfway into the profit, because I would have been aiming for right at these lows here, and then move to break even and later ride out. Price probably would have came back up and tapped me out before it got there. But let's take a look, see what actually happened today on that specific pair. So a lot of volatility on this pair here today. And one of the primary reasons why I don't trade the news, because I don't predict it at all. I'm not good at it, maybe. Doesn't work out very often for me, so I stay away from it. So stick to what I know, stick what I know works for me and what keeps me profitable, right? Like I said, been a slow week, slow couple of weeks for the start of the year though, but not uncommon, not a big deal. So haven't lost anything yet, so keep the losses at the minimum and try to minimize the amount of trades that I actually place to high quality trades and actually take those. All right. So on this one here, as you can tell from the previous entry zone that I set up, let me see, where was the euro dollar? So this one, the euro dollar on the 15-minute chart, basically I was waiting one price to come back to that 4-hour zone again, show a little bit of rejection and sell off from there. Now on this one, unfortunately, as you can tell, price didn't actually reject that zone. Well, this movement here was all news event. This spike up and this long wick that it created, the spike back down, was all news event. I would not have been trading that in the first place, even though technically it created a wick and it rejected that zone and then spiked all the way down. All of this would have been invalid for me. I would not have taken this trade. I was watching it as it was actually happening this morning at 8:30, so I saw it happen. But like I said, I stay away from news events. I don't trade it. It's not my trading strategy. It doesn't fit my my trading plan, so I don't do it. So simple as that. But outside of that, we didn't actually, I mean, whatever was happening at that zone at that time, because it was during the news release, I would not have taken. So the entry zone, at least for that day, was invalid. And probably for the most part for the rest of them, actually, because the news event pretty much affected all of the currency pairs that I usually monitor, whether it's the euro dollar, dollar yen, Aussie dollar, dollar pound, Aussie yen, and pound yen. Sometimes I'll look at EJ or euro yen, but kind of nothing else is happening on the first 3 primary pairs that I trade. Let's take a look, see what happened on the dollar yen though. Let's see. Go ahead and share this to the Discord group. If you guys are not aware, I do have the Discord group for the SyllaFX. The link and everything is going to be in the description in the video, or you can just go to SyllaFX.com and actually join the free Discord community from there. The trading course is available there as well. I still haven't changed the pricing for the course, so it's still $1 right now. Once I get a little bit more active and start putting out more content for the trades, then I'll kind of get back to that and address that. Do also offer the VIP entry zones if you're interested in joining that. It's basically the service where I provide the entry zones that I would look for the upcoming sessions. Provide about 3 to 6 of those each weekday for the upcoming London and New York sessions. So if you guys are interested in joining that, as it is a paid service, so you can join that as well if you like. Otherwise, the free Discord group is available there for you to join if you want to at least get some information, ask questions, and see what the trading community is like as well. Okay, so let's see. If you guys are joining the stream, if you got any questions, definitely ask in the chat below. If you got any questions on that. Let's see. Yeah, so the Discord group is good. Alright, so back to the entry zones that I sent out. Okay, so this one's for the euro dollar. Let's go over to the didn't set one up for the dollar yen actually, so it must not have been a good zone that I was looking for to actually take a position on. Yeah, don't see anything that is previously set up. So there were still a total of 4 entry zones that I sent out. Believe the other one was the Aussie dollar. Yeah, so it was this trade here. Well, this entry zone for a potential trade. So let's see what happened on the Aussie dollar. I haven't actually had a chance to look at this one yet, so we'll find out here together. All right. So where was this at the time? So if you can see, we had a nice little spike into the zone when I was setting up the entry. Price came down again, tapped in, and kind of rejected off of it. And I was looking to see if I was going to enter in a trade on this one, I would have needed price to come back down into the zone and reject off of it and then take a buy position. So what happened on this? So this was right in this area where I set up the entry zone, right? So again, all of this news event. So I would not have traded it even though price did come down, hit the lows here and spiked back up and just pretty much flew all the way up here. And I mean, this would have been a nice trade. But because it was a news event, I would not have taken this trade at all. So all of this is irrelevant. News movement, volatility, would not have taken it. Like I said, when I set up this trade, these entry zones, I didn't actually check for Forex Factory for the news releases. So that's on my part. But we'll take a look and see if we can set up a new entry zones for probably the dollar, the euro dollar, and the dollar yen, and a few here. Let's see what happened on the next one here. Was the Aussie, no, the Aussie dollar we just did. Euro dollar we already did. What was the other one? Yeah, let's take a look at the pound dollar here. See what happened on that one. So, again, news movement right at 8:30. All of this is all news. I mean, that pretty much invalidates any entry zones that I would have set up at that point. So, not a good trading day if you don't trade news. If you do, good luck to you. I don't know how you do it, but I'm hoping you guys are making money off of that. It's a lot of volatility, a lot of money to be made in it, but it's way too risky, way too unpredictable for me. So I was looking for price to come back into this zone here, reject and come back up, but again, with news, spiked all the way down, that would have tapped us out, came back down, that would have tapped us out. I mean, this is not a good environment of volatility to trade my trading strategy on, so all of that would have been irrelevant. And the last one I guess we can touch on, which I'm sure is probably the same scenario, was the Aussie yen. So let's jump over to that one and see what happened. So not very much action on this one actually. So what I was basically looking for was for price to come back down, come back up to this support or resistance level and actually show a little bit of rejection for a sell position, but price never made it up to that area. I would have wanted to see some type of rejection anyways to have a confirmation for the trade for me to actually take that sell position, but we didn't get that. Price didn't come back to the zone and there would have been no trade on that one. So not a good trading day today. So we can get rid of the entry zones from yesterday or this morning's trading session, and let's take a look at, let's go back to the dollar, euro dollar, and see what we had. So if you guys know, my trading strategy is basically between three different trading plans. One is basically just support and resistance, the other is supply and demand, and then the next one is trend trading. So what I'm looking at here, if I'm going to set up a new zone for the next session, for the upcoming London session, on the dollar, on the euro dollar, I'm going to start off with the 4-hour chart, right? So overall, I mean, look, we're moving up. Uptrend, uptrend, uptrend the entire time, right? Now, as far as the 4-hour chart is concerned, the only reason I pulled that up is to set up my major zones that I want to be aware of for potential entry points or exit points. I want to know where price is going to react, where it has reacted to price or to levels in the past. So if I zoom all the way out here, previously we were at this 4-hour resistance, and we've broken above that. So I'm looking for the next high that we could see potential rejection on. So, and this is very simple, clear and cut, nothing new about this. It would be this zone right here. So if I zoom into that, let's see. This is a zone that price has respected in the past, has reacted to in the past. And I anticipate that it would do basically the same thing again. Since this zone was already broken, we had rejections here, rejections here, rejections here. Price is respecting that level and staying below it, right? So if we go all the way back to where we are today, price has broken above this 4-hour zone. And if you can see, we're headed towards that 4-hour support resistance level at the top here. So what I'm going to do is jump over to the 1-hour chart and see where we are overall. How far away are we from that 4-hour resistance level? So currently, we've got about 80 to 90 pips movement, about 80 pips till we get to that high. Now the fact that we have broken above this 4-hour major here doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to go straight up to that 4-hour support or resistance level at the top. Price may very well retrace and bounce off of the zone again before it makes its way all the way up, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not here to tell price where it's going to go. Basically just watch and see what it does and find a good zone to jump in on the movement. So even on the 1-hour chart right now, you can see we're clearly still uptrending. We're going up. We want to look for buys at all times. So what I'm going to do, as far as the recent movement on the 1-hour chart, I'm going to look for a zone in which I can take an entry to continue to trend up, basically. So this is more of trend trading, depending on where I set up the entry zone. From what I can see right now, I'm looking at 2 potential zones that I could set up an entry point. One will be trend trading, the other is just basic support and resistance here. So on the 4-hour, moving up, looking for buys, right? So then I'm gonna move down, and actually before I move down, this is pretty clear cut here, guys. Like, this is an easy zone that I could look for a price rejection for an entry zone. So we could potentially have one here for a buy entry if price makes it all the way back down to this level. An easy maybe 15 to 20 pips of a stop loss. Always use a stop loss, at least for my trading strategy. I always use stop loss. Then when I get about halfway into the profit, I'll move it to break even just in case price comes back down, and pretty much mitigate the risk from there. Zero risk. If I get tapped out, I get tapped out. It's just a break even trade at that point. But on this one, I'm looking for basically a buy position at the 4-hour support level here. If price makes it all the way down here, and if we get the rejections, we get the confirmation, the wicks showing that price wants to bounce off of it and actually come back up, then that's where I would go ahead and look for a buy position there, right? And I could actually aim all the way up to this high here. It means potentially would make it all the way up here, but I would take about the 50 pips on this movement here. About 2.5 risk to reward ratio, so not bad at all. So if I jump over to the 15 minute, let's go ahead and actually, let me fix this a little bit. Okay. So this is the entry that I would be looking for on this. My trades are typically taken on the 15-minute chart. Sometimes I'll look at the 5-minute and see how it's reacting a little bit better. But for the most part, I'm going to take my trades off of the 15-minute. So price is broken above the 4-hour major. We're above the key level here, so now it's a support. We want price to hopefully make it all the way down here to give us an opportunity to jump in for a buy to continue the trend moving up. Now, the next level that we do have potential place to actually enter in is really just this rejection here. So this is a lower probability trade, just to be honest with you guys on this. I would feel more comfortable waiting for price to make it all the way down to the 4-hour support level here, because this is a more prominent level that price has rejected and reacted to multiple times in the past. So if price makes it all the way down here, this will be the more viable trade to actually take for a buy position. A quick, easy 50 pips or so, risking only 20 pips, 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio. Outside of that, though, we do have a potential for this movement here. So this zone, like I said, is lower probability because it's a more temporary support level here that could possibly get respected and have price continue to move up. It just depends on what happens during the London session. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna be up for that tonight, so I'll wait to see what happens and take a trade potentially during the Friday stream during the New York session here. So if price can make its way all the way down, great. Then this is where I'll be looking to take my buy. Hopefully we get to that point, and that'll be a quick, easy 50 pips on that one. So hopefully I can catch that one today. Hopefully price makes it down to that point and be available to me during the New York session. If it's not, then it is what it is. This is the entry zone that I'm looking for the next sessions though. All right, so let's see what we've got for the dollar yen. So when I set up the previous entry zones, or the ones for the New York session today, I didn't really see a clear zone that I wanted to that I felt comfortable with. That's why I didn't actually set one up and set out to the VIP entry zones group. But let's see if we can find anything now that price has made a bit more movement. We're in a selling market for the most part. We may get some retracement, to be honest, to come back up to the key levels, which are the red horizontal lines are the 4-hour main zones that I draw up to have respect for on the price movement. So let's see. If we were down to this point before in the past, where was the next level that it respected, right? Let's see. I mean, the most significant one looks to be down here. It's not really a clear one that I like, to be honest. Got a little bit of rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, breaks above it. I don't know that I like this one very much, to be honest. So we got rejection here, rejection, rejection, and then consolidation, break below, reject, breaks above. This is a more prominent one, to be honest. Here, let's see. Got this rejection. I would draw it right here. Yeah. And then the next one would be, I'll feel more comfortable with this area here for the next level. So we got two new 4-hour support levels drawn up as price is making its way back down. So we know where our key levels are. And actually, as you can see, so we kind of drew this out pretty perfectly based on the historical movement, right? Price literally has came down to that level, literally bounced off of it, and it looks like it's looking to break below it, but it's kind of stagnating and rejecting the level a little bit. So we just want to see what price is going to do. Based on the 4-hour, we rejected it, and this is a good potential for a buy position actually. But overall, we're trending down. We don't want to counter trend on this one here. Even though, I mean, this looks pretty clear that at least on the 1-hour level, we're going to reject it and move back up, right? But at any point, it could continue to trend. So you want to avoid making the mistake of counter trend trading. You just want to go with the trend. Go with the higher probability movement that's taking you where price is showing it wants to go, right? So even though we got rejection here, it looks like it's coming back down a little bit. Like I said, it may move back up to this 4-hour before it makes its way back down, but it doesn't look very prominent to me, and I don't counter trend trade. So the only thing that I would be looking for, really, it's not a very good one that I can see on the 1-hour or on the 15-minute. It wasn't really a clear one. So what I would look for is potentially this zone right here. If price makes it back up to this level, this would be a sell entry point on the 1-hour time frame, right? So if I go down to the 15-minute, and we would be trading into the 4-hour support, but we would be exiting at that level just in case price rejected that level again and decided to make its way back up, right? So if I took an entry point here at this level and did a stop loss of maybe 25 pips, I would want price to kind of go into that zone pretty well, and then my exit point would be at this level. So a quick 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio roughly. So about 50 pips. That's a good easy trade that I would take on that one. Quick, simple, before we get to the 4-hour, before it gets an opportunity to reject it and make its way back up. So if price makes move back up here into the zone and then shows us the rejection, always wait for the confirmation. The rejection wicks will tell you what price wants to do with the level and reject it, right? The same way it did here. So as soon as it starts rejecting here, literally spikes up. Same thing here. Rejection wick at the 4-hour zone, goes back up. Rejection wick at the 4-hour zone, goes back up. So you want to see what price is telling you that it wants to do. Wait for the confirmation, wait for the wick in that zone to show that it's rejecting that zone, and then go with the direction. The overall direction is down, so we're looking for sales. You get the wick into the zone, you take a sell position there. It's as simple as that for that one. And then possibly the next thing that I would be looking for, because I mean this is a short 50 pips on the dollar yen is not as valuable as 50 pips on the euro dollar. But I mean, it depends on your trading lot sizes. So if I'm trading four standards, I mean, it's still quite a bit of money, but it's not as valuable as a euro dollar trade worth the same amount of pips. So the next place that I would be looking for is a potential sell here. So if we do continue to trend and just break below instead of come back up to that zone here, I would want price to break below here, make a well-established move down, come back up to reject the 4-hour resistance level at that point, and look for a sell position there. So another 25 pips stop loss. And now this one we're a little bit more open to quite a bit of movement, because if you look at the 1-hour level, we have potential for a move all the way down to the next 4-hour, which is way down here. Now typically I don't aim for all of that movement, but a quick maybe 90 pips would look good for me, about halfway down into that. So almost 3.5 risk to reward ratio on this one here. Pretty simple, clear movement, great risk to reward ratio. Stop loss is only 25 pips. This will be a great move. Whether we break below the zone and make our way back, or at least make our way to continue back down. So something like this. We get a well-established move down. I need price to kind of close below the zone a few times and stay below there for a while. Start to make its way back up, get a nice rejection into that 4 hours resistance, and then show us confirmation, show us the rejection weeks in that zone, and that will be a nice little easy rejection and take a sell position there. But that's what I would be looking for. I mean, continuing the trend, only sell positions. If price makes us back to the zone, this is a good sell position. If price makes it below the 4 hour and becomes a resistance, reject that zone for another sell position. So 2 quick, easy entry zones on the euro-dollar pair, or sorry, on the dollar-yen pair. So 50 pips on this one and about 90 pips on this one here. Same stop loss, just greater risk to reward ratio on those two. But outside of that, the euro-dollar, I don't know if we're going to make it all the way back down to this level, but it would be nice because this is a higher probability trade. So we'll just kind of see what happens. I mean, price just may continue rejection like it is here and make its way up. It's Asian session right now, so there's not a lot of volume in the market, and I'm typically not trading the Asian session unless I see a very clear entry point on that. What was it? Wednesday evening, I saw that on the dollar yen or the euro dollar, and that's why I took this buy position or the sell position here. So yeah, that was that evening. Was that Tuesday? So not even Wednesday. Tuesday evening is when I took that sell position. It was going good for a while, and then stop loss to break even and got tapped out on that one. So, but that's fine. Even though, I mean, overall the direction was correct, just the entry point didn't play out. I mean, this would have been a hell of a move if I could have took this one and drove it all the way down. I mean, look where we are now. That's a 300 pips easy on that one here. But that's over a couple of days time frame. So, but you know, it is what it is. But let's see. As far as the dollar yen, I think that's all that we got on this one here. Yeah, all of this movement here is not very indicative of where price wants to go. The 15 minutes is showing some rejection wicks here, so it's potential that it's going to keep going up. But it doesn't fit into my trading strategy. It doesn't fit into a key zone for me to take an entry on. So I'm going to stay away from it. And it's Asian session. I mean, it could literally start plummeting down. Not with a lot of volatility, but once the London session comes about, we could see a potential move down back to the zone or even down to the 4 hour support here. So outside of that, I mean, guys, there's not too much to it this evening. And like I said, today was more of a news day, so no trades on that one. Entry zone is not very prominent, at least not very standard or fortified to actually take. So let's see. So what I was initially aiming for on the dollar yen on Tuesday evening, that 50 pip move here. Let's see, because I got into about, I think I was about like 34 or 35 pips into it, where I moved my stop loss to break even. So don't even remember how much I was up at that point, but gave it all back. So with just the 35 pips on that one, It was only like barely at $1,000 and came back and tapped me out. So it is what it is. Was that 70 pips? I was aiming for 70 pips on that one here. So that would have been a couple thousand, a little bit over that. Would have been a nice profit for the week, but didn't play out. That's what happens sometimes. So it is what it is. But I think that's all that we got for the Asian session this evening. Today is January the 12th, 2023. So I hope you guys are having a good start to your trading year. It's been pretty slow for me. One trade. I think there was a couple entry zones that I sent out to the group that played out. So hopefully you guys caught that. If you are in the group, if not, I mean, there'll be plenty more entry zones to go off of here. So if you're not part of the group, like I said, go to SyllaFX.com. You can join the VIP entry zones group there, or at least join the free Discord community to catch some information. Sometimes I do share the trades that I take at that time as well. Like the trade that I took Tuesday evening on the dollar yen, I did share that to the group and let them know, hey, I took this trade, blah, blah, blah. And then went to sleep on it. Luckily, I'd already moved my stop loss to break even, but then got tapped out. So no winner on that one. It is what it is. Sometimes that happens, so it's part of trading. But I think that's all that I got for you guys on this stream here. We're only going to do these 2 entry zones, and now I'll get the rest of the entry zones set up and sent out to the VIP group. But I hope you guys have a good trading rest of the trading week. I mean, it's only tomorrow left for the week, so we'll see what happens. I think I'll do the live stream tomorrow morning during the New York session as well. So hopefully you guys join in for that. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notified for the content when it's uploaded or when I go live for the session. Join the Discord community group. Again, SyllaFX.com. All the links are going to be in the description below. Outside of that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening and good luck trading London and New York session tomorrow. Alrighty, catch you guys in another one. Want to become a full-time trader? Start making money trading from home today with the SyllaFX VIP entry zones. Receive multiple trade entry zones every weekday for different currency pairs. You also get access to the full SyllaFX trading course, as well as live trading sessions. Go to SyllaFX.com now and join the VIP entry zones.